A functioning EPR system must ensure effective waste management and take every step of the waste value chain into account. Take this shampoo bottle. In the next 3 modules, we will follow it downstream from the moment it becomes waste until it emerges from the loop. It will take a journey from the rubbish bin to collection, sorting, recycling, and finally re-enter the system as a new product. This journey begins with you and me. To enable recycling, we must separate and dispose our waste properly. What happens if we don't? Well, put simply, littered waste will most likely find its way into nature, causing significant harm to the environment, public health, and the economy. The same goes for open burning and uncontrolled disposal. They all produce significant pollution of air, soils, and water. Proper disposal is therefore key. However, in many countries, separate collection doesn't exist. All waste is disposed of together and dumped at a landfill. In the best case, some recyclables are sorted from residual waste after collection. In either case, contact with organic waste then contaminates recyclables and significantly reduces their recycling value. Organic waste also contaminates the machinery, leading to high maintenance costs. In a nutshell, to make recycling possible on a large scale, we must separate our waste. Citizen engagement is therefore the first building block of waste management, but often overlooked. The PRO can support consistent and successful communication with citizens. It must ensure the functioning of a trustworthy recycling system and coordinate stakeholders' engagement along the value chain. Requirements for citizen engagement must be set out in the legal framework. These can include targets for separation at source, expenditures for awareness-raising campaigns, and requirements for complaint mechanisms. Several key issues should be addressed. For citizens to separate their waste, they must know how to separate it correctly, especially if separation or even collection of waste is new for citizens. These systems must be well explained and easily understandable. In the simplest version, recyclable materials go in one bin, non-recyclables in a second bin, and organic waste in a third bin. Waste streams can be further separated to enable higher recycling rates and quality. In Germany, separate bins exist for packaging, glass, paper, electronics, organic, and residual waste. Bottles and cans are taken back separately through deposit refund schemes. Separating packaging waste becomes easier for citizens when disposal information is printed on the product's packaging. This can either be required legally or incentivized through the modulation of EPR fees. In France, producers' EPR fees are reduced if the Triman Recycling logo is printed on their product, which shows what parts of the packaging belong in what bin. In the Taiwan region, the logo for recyclable products was found in a well-received public competition and is now printed on all recyclable products. Citizens must also be aware of where and when collection takes place. This requires waste operators to inform them about collection schedules and modalities. For citizens to participate, collection should be regular and accessible. Let's have a look at what this means. Waste may be collected from homes in a door-to-door collection system or from collection points in a bring-in system. In door-to-door systems, it must be made sure that collection is frequent so that waste doesn't stack up in people's homes. It must also take place at convenient times, requiring coordination with common work schedules. This video shows door-to-door collection in the Taiwan region, where trucks for residual and recyclable waste pass daily, playing classical music. In bring-in systems, waste drop-off points must be conveniently reachable by citizens, as waste will otherwise be stored at home for a long time. There must be enough containers for both residual and recyclable waste. Bogotá's case exemplifies the consequences of bad planning. Not only were the new drop-off waste containers badly placed, they were also badly designed. As the containers for recyclables were too small, they were quickly overflowing at some points. Citizens thus gave up separating their waste as they couldn't dispose of it appropriately. In contrast, the rapid expansion of bring banks to drop off waste led Spain to become one of the top recyclers of packaging waste in Europe. These were primarily placed at offices, restaurants, schools, and event venues. Citizens will only participate in a system they understand and trust. EPR schemes should therefore promote transparency and create mechanisms for participation. There are many ways to achieve this. Information can be provided through newsletters, posters, leaflets, and websites. Enabling citizens to ask questions and file complaints can further help to improve waste management and solve problems in its daily operations. In Maputo, Mozambique, citizens can file complaints through their mobile phone using MOPA, a service which works as an app and hotline. It enables authorities to solve reported problems rapidly and provides citizens with a tool to monitor the functioning of the waste management system. Across Morocco, report cards are distributed and in-person surveys completed to gain citizen feedback despite low access to technology. Discussions in town hall meetings provide direct engagement and feed into the development of waste management. However, citizens' trust fundamentally depends on the sound operations of the waste management system, and this may bring difficulties. For example, recyclables should never be mixed with residual waste after collection, as this would make separation at source seem pointless. This is a particular risk in nascent waste management systems where adequate recovery and recycling options may not yet be in place. Monitoring of citizens' behavior and financial incentives may be effective to increase separation at source. By introducing an EPR scheme, the Taiwan region drastically increased recycling rates while reducing waste production. There, the disposal of recyclable materials was made free. In contrast, residual waste has to be disposed of in blue bags, which must be bought as part of a pay-as-you-throw system. While this incentivizes citizens to separate their waste, it requires strong monitoring of citizens to prevent fraud. To avoid disposal costs for residual waste, citizens might be tempted to mix residual waste in with their recyclables or dispose of it in public bins. Harsh fines and even public shaming of wrongdoers were therefore introduced in the Taiwan region. The overt use of force can be problematic and risks losing citizens' acceptance of the system. However, some measure of monitoring and enforcement remains necessary. In particular, it can help creating a feeling of civic duty concerning separation at source by emphasizing the importance of collective action. Once again, back to Bogota, the introduction of unmonitored drop-off points eliminated any incentive citizens had to separate their waste. They no longer had to deal with it at home. They faced no penalties for not separating and didn't have to explain themselves to anyone. Experiences in Chile and India show that the direct interaction with waste collectors each significantly increase source separation. Collectors can become households' personal waste manager, providing information and establishing a sense of personal responsibility. Awareness-raising campaigns should accompany the rollout of accessible and transparent collection systems. These campaigns should connect the principles of sound waste management and the negative impact of its failure with citizens' everyday behavior. To be successful, they should communicate this clearly and coherently over time. The PRO plays a key role in financing these campaigns and ensuring that communication through different stakeholders aligns. Awareness raising is most successful when it is anchored in people's communities and daily lives. The collaboration with schools, community groups, cultural events, and waste operators is therefore vital. Take the success story of the Taiwan region. It has its roots in female activists advocating for waste management, leading to a concerted societal effort to change citizens' habits. This momentum has even reached the traditional dragon boat races, which now include competitions for boats made of recycled waste. I hope you enjoyed this module. The expert voices will help you dive deeper into the topic. See you in the next video.